Hi, welcome to Sleepy Time Poetry, featuring soothing classic poems along with guided relaxation to help you get to sleep. My name is Jeff Kaplan, and I'm glad that you're here. Let's get sleepy. Lying quietly, allow your body to sink down. Take a deep breath in and exhale, and another breath in and exhale. On the next exhalation, allow your eyes to close. Give the weight of your limbs to the mattress. Allow the back of your head to sink down. Your torso to relax. Your whole body sinking down. Tonight, we are going to hear works by famous women writers. Let the cadences of their language lull you deeper into relaxation, moving closer to sleep with every line. Let's begin with perhaps the most famous poem by a woman writer, Emily Dickinson's Because I Could Not Stop for Death. In this piece, Dickinson adapts the classical image of Charon the ferryman, who for a coin transports souls over the river Styx to the afterlife. Here, Dickinson reinterprets the ride in a Victorian carriage. Emily Dickinson, Because I Could Not Stop for Death, 1863. Although the poem did not appear in publication until posthumously in 1890. Because I could not stop for death, he kindly stopped for me. The carriage held but just ourselves and immortality. We slowly drove, he knew no haste, and I had put away my labor and my leisure too, for his civility. We passed the school where children strove at recess in the ring. We passed the fields of gazing grain. We passed the setting sun, or rather, he passed us. The dews drew quivering and chill, for only gossamer my gown, my tippet only tulle. We paused before a house that seemed a swelling of the ground. The roof was scarcely visible, the cornice in the ground. Since then, 'tis centuries, and yet feels shorter than the day I first surmised the horses' heads were toward eternity. Now, imagine standing before an old-fashioned elevator, the kind with slatted gates that open and close. Step inside and notice the numbers of the floors on a brass plate. When you descend, you will become more relaxed. Imagine grasping a handle that activates the elevator. The elevator whirs and slowly moves down. 10, 9, 8, feeling more and more relaxed. 7, 6, 5, allowing tension to melt out of your body. 4, 3, 2, letting everything release. And 1, completely relaxed, completely at peace. Elizabeth Barrett Browning writes one of the most famous opening lines of a poem. In her sonnet, "How do I love thee? Let me count the ways." Browning lists all the ways in which she adores her beloved, using exquisite imagery of nature, and concludes her poem with a pledge to the immortality of love. Sonnet 43 from Sonnets from the Portuguese by Elizabeth Barrett Browning, published in 1850. How do I love thee? Let me count the ways. I love thee to the depth and breadth and height my soul can reach. When feeling out of sight for the ends of being and ideal grace, I love thee to the level of every day's most quiet need, by sun and candlelight. I love thee freely as men strive for right. I love thee purely as they turn from praise. I love thee with the passion put to use in my old griefs and with my childhood's faith. I love thee with a love I seem to lose with my lost saints. I love thee with the breath, smiles, tears of all my life. And if God choose, I shall but love thee better after death. Next, let's listen to There Will Come Soft Rains by Sara Teasdale. Writing at the end of the First World War, Teasdale talks about the endurance of the natural world, indifferent to the conflicts of people, that nevertheless offers the promise of rebirth. There will come soft rains by Sara Teasdale, 1918. There will come soft rains and the smell of the ground, and swallows circling with their shimmering sound, and frogs in the pools singing at night, and wild plum trees in tremulous white. Robins will wear their feathery fire, whistling their whims on a low fence wire, and not one will know of the war. Not one will care at last when it is done. Not one would mind, neither bird nor tree, if mankind perished utterly. And spring herself, when she woke at dawn, would scarcely know that we were gone. Take another deep breath in and out, allowing any remaining tension to melt out of your body as you move closer to a deep, dreamy sleep. In her beautiful poem, A Birthday, Christina Rossetti shows how love brings her spiritual joy as well as filling her heart. She uses rich imagery, making allusions to Renaissance tapestries with symbols like flowers, birds, rare fabric dyes, and exotic fruit. A Birthday by Christina Rossetti, 1861. My heart is like a singing bird whose nest is in a watered shoot. My heart is like an apple tree whose boughs are bent with thickest fruit. My heart is like a rainbow shell that paddles in a halcyon sea. My heart is gladder than all these, because my love is come to me. Raise me a dais of silk and down, hang it with vair and purple dyes, carve it in doves and pomegranates and peacocks with 100 eyes. Work it in gold and silver grapes, in leaves and silver fleur-de-lis, because the birthday of my life is come. My love is come to me. We will close with Matilda Blind's poem, The Reapers, a poetic analog to a landscape oil painting of peasants in the countryside. Blind's lines describe men and women working in the fields during the harvest, and she evokes the colors, the sensations, the sounds that they must have felt. With this final poem, allow yourself to release completely as you drift off into sleep. Throughout the night, your body and your mind will heal, and you will wake up in the morning feeling refreshed, rejuvenated, ready to take on the world. Thank you for joining me this evening, and I'll see you next time. Matilda Blind, Reapers, 1889. Sun-tanned men and women toiling there together. 7 I count in all, in yon field of wheat, where the rich, ripe ears in the harvest weather glow an orange gold through the sweltering heat. Busy life is still, sunk in brooding leisure. Birds have hushed their singing in the hushed treetops. Not a single cloud mars the flawless azure. Not a shadow moves o'er the moveless crops. In the grassy shallows that no breath is creasing, chestnut-colored cows in the rushes dank stand like cows of bronze, save when they flick the teasing flies with switch of tail from each quivering flank. Nature takes a rest, even her bees are sleeping, and the silent wood seems a church that's shut. But these human creatures cease not from their reaping, while the corn stands high, waiting to be cut. Pleasant dreams.